Hello, thanks for coming back for episode 2 in the series. And we're going to be talking today about how to actually summon a monster so you can chip away at your opponent's all important life points. So, the first thing I'll start off with is the rules of the game. So, during your turn, you're allowed to do what we call a normal summon just once, okay? And then there's another type of summoning called special summoning. Now, special summoning, if you remember last video, we talked about effect monsters. So this is an effect monster, and part of its effect is to discard a card, and it will allow you to special summon another card from your deck. So bingo, instead of just one card on the field, you'll then end up with two, right? So the thing is with special summoning, you are allowed to special summon as many times as you like during your turn. Obviously, unless there's another card on the field that stipulates you can't, but we are just going to be assuming the basics, okay? So the rules of the game, rules of engagement, are you are allowed to normal summon once, okay, per turn, and special summon as many times as you like, okay, as long as you've got other cards, you know, like this one, or this one, for example, or indeed even this one, you know, and as long as you meet the conditions, you're allowed to do it. So that's how you get to sort of build a board, okay? So let's talk about how we can normal summon for starters, because that's how most turns get started, is by normal summoning a monster. So you remember that last time we talked about monsters with levels? So, for example, this Harpy Lady, this non-effect vanilla monster, so to speak, has 4 stars. Any monster with 4 or fewer stars can be essentially normal summoned. You're allowed to slap it on the field, okay, for free. Well done, you've summoned your first monster. That's great. Let's say, and it's the same thing with this one as well. It doesn't matter, it's an effect monster, right? As long as it doesn't have the text that says cannot be normal summoned, right? Because in Yu-Gi-Oh there are cards that stop you from doing the normal way of things, but we're just going to stick with the normal way. It's got 4 stars. This means if it's the start of our turn, yeah, we can normal summon that. Go ahead. Where it gets a bit more complicated is where you've got cards in your hand that have more than 4 stars, okay? Because 4 or lower, you're allowed to just normal summon for free. This is where tribute summoning comes in as a mechanic. You can think of tribute summoning as a type of normal summon, okay? It's not counted as special summoning. So you can see this card has 6 stars. So the rule goes that any monster card in your hand that has 5 or 6 stars requires 1 tribute from the field in order to summon it. This is because you can see that the attack and defense stats of the higher level card are a little bit better. So you can see here the level 4 Harpy's got a 1300 attack, whereas this level 6 Harpy Lady Sisters has 1950. That's the same thing with the defense. It's a little bit better here as well at 21 versus 1400. So let's say you've normal summoned the Harpy Lady, okay? You've passed turn to the opponent, remember, because you can only normal summon once. And then your opponent doesn't have anything in their hand that they can normal summon, okay, so they pass turn back to you and your Harpy Ladies survived a turn. What you now can do with this card in your hand is, you know, I'm going to tribute summon. So what you do is you send the Harpy Lady to the graveyard, which is over here. Don't worry, we'll talk about field positions later on. And then you can just normal summon the Harpy Lady Sisters. So that's what you do. That's how you tribute summon a monster, okay? So that follows on to this level of monster. So here we've got Harpy's Pet Dragon, and you can see this has 7 stars. So following on, 5 and 6 star monsters, okay, like Harpy Lady Sisters, need 1 tribute. Monsters with a level 7 or higher, okay, need 2 tributes to summon. So you'd basically need to have 2 things on the field like that, and you go, okay, I've not normal summoned this turn, I'm going to normal summon, I'll tribute off these 2 monsters, and some tribute summon the pet dragon. That's how you would do it. So this is where the levels do become important. So that's essentially normal summoning covered. So normal summoning is very much based on the levels of the cards, okay, and what you have on the field already if you want to do so. So let's move on to talking about special summoning. So special summoning requires like another effect to help you, essentially. So let's actually talk about Harpy Channeler, okay? Let's say it's your turn and you've got nothing on the field, you've got a level 4 monster and you're like, yep, cool, I'm going to normal summon the Harpy Channeler. You know, it'd be really nice to have another monster on the field, wouldn't it? You know, because that's how you build your board. So if you read the effect of Harpy Channeler, you can see, so reading in Yu-Gi-Oh is pretty important. You can discard one Harpy card, so that'll be from your hand. So discard means you just have to send it to the graveyard. So you can see here we're pretty spoiled for choice. So you know what, let's get rid of Harpy Lady Sisters, for example, okay? So we just discard that to the graveyard, okay, while she's on the field. So this is what we call the cost, because you can see that little semicolon. Everything in front of that little semicolon is you paying the cost to activate the effect. You don't get the effect yet, because the opponent always has a chance to respond. But let's say it goes through and your opponent's got no plays. You can then proceed to what we call resolve the effect. So then you can special summon one Harpy monster from your deck in defense position, except this card. So she's on the field, you've discarded her, your opponent's got no plays to interrupt that, it resolves, and you go to your main deck, and let's say from your main deck, you know, you just want to get this Harpy Lady out, that's cool. And then you just bring her out, and that's a special summon, done. And let's say you're still not done, right? Like you've still not done summoning. You go for this card, right? So you remember I talked about spell cards. Now, these are not monster cards, obviously. They're sort of supplement and get you stuff, okay? So what you do is you play this card, all right, in the spell and trap zone. Don't worry, we'll go through zones at a later date. And this card says, if Harpy Lady's on the field, which it is, you can see again that colon. So that's the condition, right? In front of the colon. Special summon one Harpy Lady or Harpy Lady Sisters from your hand or deck. So I'm just going to pretend that this was actually in my deck. Okay, and what you do is you can just special summon her straight out onto the field. And then the spell just goes to the graveyard because you've used it. Simple. So now, instead of just having your normal summon with just, you know, one level 4 monster on the field, you've managed to get out a much more powerful, higher level monster by using a spell. And you've got another body on the field as well from the effect of a monster that you normal summoned. So this is where the basis of Yu-Gi-Oh comes from, is by using powerful effect monsters as well as combining it with the powers of spells and indeed traps, actually. So let's just demonstrate how one would special summon with this trap. So you can see here that you have to activate this card by discarding one card. Let's just imagine we've passed turn. The opponent's managed to sort of blow up our board. They've gotten rid of all our monsters. Sorry, I shouldn't have checked it there. Gotten rid of all our monsters, right? And we've got this trap card set on the field. Okay. You know, we can activate this, okay? And you activate it by discarding one card. So let's get rid of the pet dragon, right? And you can see again, there comes the semicolon. So that is the cost, okay? So that's how we've activated this card. Then you see if your opponent's got a play, you know, because they could stop it. But if they haven't, then we proceed to resolve it. So we need to special summon as many copies of Harpy Lady as possible from your graveyard. So let's check the graveyard. That's not Harpy Lady, it's a dragon. That's not, because it's a sisters. But Harpy Channeler is, because it says, this card's name becomes Harpy Lady while in the field or in the graveyard. So cool. So we get 2 monsters back and you can special summon them to the field, which is fantastic. So that's another way that you can special summon. So just from this short demonstration, you can see that there are ways of getting more monsters to your field, not only by the effects of a normal summon monster, but also from spell and trap cards that you choose to play to complement your deck. So I hope that was really helpful and gives you a bit more of a flavour. of what to do. So next video, episode 3, we're going to be talking about the field that you see here underneath my cards, and I'll go into a bit more detail as to exactly where to put things, and we're going to be talking about positions. So I hope you can join me on the next one. Thanks for watching.